Got my coffee. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick video to tell you why I've added Mr. Steve Ward to this channel. He gives me inspiration. He also is kind of like this photo battle buddy, but he's kind of excited about it, and it gets me excited. So I've asked him to do a video of his top photos for last year. So let's go right to the video.
And maybe with some luck, and provided Mike's a good teacher. Hi, my name is Steve Ward. Mike has taken me under his wing, not to use cliches or anything, but anyway, Mike has graciously mentored me for the past few months, and so he suggested I make a little video about my best photos of last year, and so I thought, why not? I'll give that a try, and maybe with some luck, and provided Mike's a good teacher, my photos will improve as time goes on, and next year at this time I'll have some really good photos to show. But for now, we'll just go with my top photos. It's not 10, it's fewer than 10. I consider myself an intermediate photographer. I used to teach photography at the local high school as part of the yearbook class, and that's more journalism based. And so I would teach the kids about f-stops, about shutter speeds, about ISOs. And so Mike has shown me how to do that. So I can shoot manual. I usually shoot manual, but Mike has helped me understand that there are times when you can use aperture priority, then shutter priority, and native ISOs, and I'm learning an awful lot. Since Mike starts his off with coffee, I also have coffee, and I know his wife will really like that. The big difference is mine is a White Castle cup, big mug, and so, and judging by this and the White Castle mug, you have an idea where I'm from to begin with. But anyway, let's get to the photos here. My brother-in-law and I went to Mesa Arch, and the sun rises and it kind of pokes its way through this particular mesa. It's facing almost due east, and we got there right at sunrise, and it kind of looked like we were shooting into a fishbowl, an aquarium, and it is unbelievable how far down the canyons go and how far across they go. It's hard to imagine when you're here in the Ozarks, but this place is massive. Like the St. Louis Arch could fit way down there in the bottom and you wouldn't be able to see it. But the point of this picture is that once the sunlight comes through and kind of turns things a nice gold, because we got there for the entire golden hour, is that I turned around, and this is actually one of my favorite photos. It's 25 yards away from the Mesa Arch. I just turned around and there this rock outcropping was. It's not El Capitan from Yosemite National Park, but it reminds me of it. And so I took a picture of that, and the light was just perfectly off the grass right there, I thought. And I just like the look at that rock outcropping. The sky, I really didn't do much any editing to the sky. It really was that blue. And so I really do like this photo. I think it's an interesting composition. And so there we go. That's probably the furthest out of town that I went for one of my favorite photos of the year. So the next photo is actually in the Ozarks. Now we're there. A place called Patty Creek, which is south of Fort Leonard Wood. And Mike has a great photo from there also, but he agreed to show me how to do some astrophotography. And he mentions in his video, which hopefully is linked up to this one, he mentions in his video that he was a little bit kind of bored, done it a lot. My first time. And all I could say the entire night was, wow, wow, wow. This was so cool. I did learn a lot about my camera that night. One, I learned that my viewfinder in the back, the display does not tilt. And so I really had to get low on the ground to see it. And I've since decided to get a mirror, a makeup mirror that my wife, well, I stole it from my wife. I also learned that my camera has a level on it, which I didn't know when I took this photo. But the reason it doesn't show more of the creek at the bottom is because by the time we got the photo leveled, a lot of it had been cropped out because you're working in total darkness. But I really like that photo, and I look forward to shooting more like it in the next year, next summer. Next one is from Elephant Rocks, And this is pretty much the shot that I imagine everyone goes for. Elephant Rocks here in the Ozarks. It's actually down south of St. Louis, near a place called Ironton, where they mined iron, believe it or not. And just these giant rocks, volcanic leftovers. They weigh tons and tons and tons. But I like the picture in that we were there for sunrise, and we were hoping to get the sunrise, but it didn't pan out. The rays poked through for just a few seconds, and then a cloud bank moved in, and I thought, for once, I made the rock look like a rock, which I know sounds silly. Even I've taken dozens of photos of this place over the years. The rocks never looked hard. I have a feeling if I fell down just in this picture, it would hurt, which usually they don't look that way when I take the photos and stuff. Next one. I was really pleasantly surprised with this one, and Mike mentioned in his video that I got the better shot. Well, that's just kind of dumb luck. What's not so dumb luck is that both of us had our eyes open. We were in this particular location, Cane Tuck Trail is near there. It's part of the Mill Creek area, and we were trying to take photos of something else. And we were just kind of walking around looking for something, and we saw the spider web from easily 75 yards away. So we hustled up because within minutes the sun was going to rise up behind it, and we wanted to get it backlit. And so Mike was gracious enough to give me the first crack at it. He coached me along, learned again about focus on the camera. Even though you have your camera set to automatic focus, spider webs are insubstantial. In other words, there's not much there to focus on, so we had to zoom in, turn the lens on to manual focus, do it the old-fashioned way. And so we got a little bit of mist rising with the sunrise, the spider there in the middle. I love this photo, and Mike says it should be a wall hanger. I did incorporate it in a couple of calendars I made, and so I do like it. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. This next one is also Patty Creek, the same place that we went to for the star photos, except this time it's downstream a little bit. It's during the fall, and composition's not really ever been a problem for me, but the settings on the camera have, as I mentioned before. But this one I kind of worked at it. I worked the scene a little bit. I got my feet wet wading into the water, and I did do a little bit of post-processing to it to make the reds. I don't even know what kind of tree that is back there. But I did want to get the tree to pop. And so that's kind of the mantra I use when we go out taking photos is we have something we want to do, and then we have to be ready for whatever presents itself. So this is one of those cases down in the creek. Speaking of which, presenting itself, we're back at Elephant Rocks, but I'm with a different person this time. I'm with my buddy Carlos, and it's a drizzly, rainy day. And I'm taking Carlos. It's his first time there, and we're going to go up to those big rocks that I showed you before. The reason it's called Elephant Rocks, I decided to look at the stuff that's around the scene, and I saw this little bitty tree poking up amongst the rocks with its leaves just now turning yellow. And so I decided, all right, let's get down low and let's compose this one and shoot it. And I just liked the carpet of leaves that lead up to it, and how this little bitty tree is framed up by the lichen covered rocks that are around it. I like its composition. So I'm sure it doesn't go anywhere, but it makes me happy, and I guess I'm the number one audience if it makes me happy. So anyway, there's that one. And then one of the last ones here, I'm not sure if it's the last one, but close to, is down at Bennett Springs State Park. Mike and I are going down there to get pictures of eagles. Set up on the bank, compose the photo. It's actually a combination. It's an HDR photo. We were there right at sunrise because we thought that's when the eagles would be around. Turns out they weren't. The sunlight off the left side of the trees and this little water house out there. The water house it's had its photo taken forever, but I liked it. And like I said, I think that's the last one. So I'm not sure how many that wound up being, 7. But those are my top pictures for the year. Almost all of them from the Ozarks, and I'm looking forward to doing some more this year and learning a lot more. I think Mike and I are going to try to do some panoramic shots, going to learn how to do that. some light trail shots. We got all sorts of. We got a list of like 50 things. We'll probably get to 2 of them between now and 2025. Anyway, thank you.